All right, and NASA week 2, Jackpot versus Oncoming Traffic. Game 1 here on not Aten City, Taiko Temple. I said the wrong one. But some interesting team comps coming out here. Oncoming Traffic rocking the Zen Luna now on this Stinger start. Everyone in this match went Stinger, by the way, so that should tell you something about the mentality here going into this one. And knowing the players that are involved in this match, I expect this to be a pretty explosive series.
Yeah, notably, this is not a game in the North American Strikers League, but we've still got 6 Little Bs. We's Little Bs not in this game, but 6 Little Bs making their appearances in the builds of all of these players. And Color Craze making an appearance in the goal box of Oncoming Traffic for point 1.
Yeah, big point here. But take a look at the things here. It's double mag souls for both forwards. And we see Mango's rocking the momentum boots, the newly buffed momentum boots on the now goalie, which is pretty interesting, I think. Here's a big Crater Maker coming out, and that's Color Craze down. Oncoming Traffic with the power play opportunity. But so far Jackpot doing a good job just keeping them pushed back. Coin getting staggered here as well, gonna get KO'd, and now it's Jackpot's turn to take the power play. Pushing on this bottom barrier. First flip there from Mangoes. Now back up to Color Craze. Mango's doing a good job here on the midfield line, just keeping out tempo, taking a lot of damage, dealing damage back to Color Craze though. And this demo might be another KO here for Coin. The power play just keeps switching hands here. Core flip comes out from the IME. Try and force it around, gets out of position just a little bit, leaves Alpha Me to defend the barrier, and it will fall. It's an open goal, an opportunity for Oncoming Traffic to potentially tie it up. Firewall Sentry coming out here in the midfield. Tempo boosting in the insta flip. What a great save made by Jackpot. Here's the Crater Maker on the line. Another great save, keeping the shots up onto the bottom side. Coin, though, getting knocked back and staggered here. It's just Tempo in the 1-on-3, but finds the gap in the defense to tie up the game.
Yeah, it's kind of funny. We didn't get to see too much of Tempo and Coin playing together. It was kind of just, oh, one of them staggered or dead, and the other one is just running the 1v3. But they're the ones that took the point home. Alchemy is already looking worse for wear, but that flip did find value. Grabs the barrier and finds the goal shortly thereafter with the help of Color Craze's Shower of Thorns. That's a nice 1-point lead, and a set point for the side of Jackpot.
Position to be in here on such a volatile awakening start such as this, especially when you really want size and dash range on some of on your forwards there. But it will be Color Craze going down, and the power play for Oncoming Traffic yet again. Mangoes with the core. Alonso linking up. Gonna get pushed right back into the corner. Still holding on to this barrier though. Now Alonso to Alpha Me. Clear it out of there. Looking to push back up and get some offense going of their own, but shot back out, and Tempo Melon with the boost. Able to find that second barrier up to Coin with the slice and dice, and that'll be Oncoming Traffic tying it up here on set point.
Yeah, we're already seeing both of these teams very clearly show their true colors. Obviously with this Ristel, Jackpot have a little bit more of an angle to just win off of sheer core control. But they're not shying away from damage, but they are the ones that are without a player on the board right now. It's the power play swinging in way of Oncoming Traffic, who are angling more for this core control centered play style. Or not core control, kill centered play style. My gosh. Yeah, no. Heavens if Stinger, Zen, and Luna are playing core control. I mean, they can, but these guys are aiming to eliminate their enemies as fast as possible, and doing a pretty good job of it. But it's 0.5 now, down to whoever can find the next crack in the wall as to who will take set.
Yeah, right now, goal getting busted open right now on Oncoming Traffic's side of the field. Trying to clear it off. A nice boost from Tempo Melon to snipe off that barrier, and Coin right there to follow up as the goal gates open. Oncoming Traffic will be stealing back this set one as it went back and forth there for quite a bit. Tempo going to be the MVP here of this draft. We see the prize fighter and the ad rush show up, and I wonder if one or both of those might go over to oncoming traffic.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm predicting, especially because I doubt Alonso wants to take prize fighter. Actually, no, he knows better. Yeah, we've seen the Coin and Tempo Melon show one too many times. They will just run over the match if they get too many of these KO awakenings. So even though Timeless was on the board, fantastic pickup for Aimee, Alonso's going to make sure Prize Fighter doesn't fall to Coin. He'll settle for Prime Time, which will mean more Stinger hits dealt out. Color Craze is going to start sparking. Nothing's really left for Alphamy at the back of the draft, who's left with just Orb Replicator. And that means that this draft was pretty solidly won by Oncoming Traffic. Mango's denying away that size from Alphamy, who is now completely off the pitch, taken off by Tempo and Coin, and is certainly not the last KO we're going to see, possibly even this point.
Yeah, these are some rough awakening boards. I mean, Coin with a dime right there, as it should be. Bouncing it off the opening goal gate to find the point. But yeah, these awakening boards are definitely looking rough for Jackpot. All the damage is in the favor of Oncoming Traffic right now, which is definitely a sentence that I think makes sense. So, rightfully so. And we see Color Craze getting bounced around in that top corner right now. Alphamy, though, able to beat Mangoes and get a barrier here to at least even that up. Alonso lobbing it back in right now. Color Craze still staggered. It's going to get taken out by Coin, but Oncoming Traffic losing a barrier for it. Pushing back in. Alonso finding a clear. A nice death touch from Alphamy to pull Mangoes out of the way. The core going to float right in. And this is just how Jackpot has to win these points. Managing to find the one-on-one reactions and staying alive just long enough to make something happen.
Yeah, certainly Ristel is a good offensive duo to have into a now goalie, but it's rare that they're actually able to have the duo, because usually one or both of them is staggered or KO'd entirely. But they do find a double barrier right off the bat here. Even though they're in the midst of power play that's not in their favor, they bring it up to a 2v2, and Jackpot actually have an opportunity to get a 1-point lead here, even though their barriers are down as well.
Me back up. A really quick death touch in. Not able to connect with the Whiplash, though, and Tempo will boost it right out. It's going to slip past Alonso, who just couldn't get far enough back in time, and it'll float right in. Oncoming Traffic able to kind of sneak that point out, and now they're the ones who are actually on set point.
Yeah, and the XP differential starting to tell the story. 6 levels on Coin and Tempo Melon, and barely 6 levels on Alonso, but both of the forwards of Jackpot, who have not been able to play nearly as much this game, still sitting at level 5. And that XP difference is only going to grow larger as Oncoming Traffic's game plan continues to work flawlessly. But it's no longer flawless. They're getting KO'd themselves here, and a nice burst of offensive pressure from Jackpot is putting a little bit of hope in their hearts for the rest of this game, but Tempo's extinguishing it with a double barrier.
And a cold flipper from Color Craze is going to get blocked at the line. It gets back in the midfield, a big scramble for the core here, and it falls over on the Oncoming Traffic side of the field. Color Craze staggered, but trying to recover. A pass up to Alphamy. Tempo looking to get it out. Over to Coin now. No one there to follow up. Still getting knocked over on the Jackpot side of the field right now as Coin becomes staggered in turn. Mangoes with the core flip, a pass up to Tempo, dribble off the bottom, bumper to the bottom side. Tempo winning the strike wars against Color Craze to make it happen. And a second point going over to Oncoming Traffic. Tempo Melon staying at the top of this draft. Continuing to get whatever she wants. And, I mean, there's Deadeye just showing up for free, as well as Extra Special and Missile. Like, this is everything. This is everything.
Yeah, everything, and Alonso's got to deny away that Monumentalist from Mangoes. Which, speaking of Mangoes, doing a little get down Mr. President at the end of that last point, saving Coin's life and then scoring the goal shortly thereafter. But they'll take the Extra Special and the Monumentalist away. Again, it's a game of denials for Jackpot, which means that when Oncoming Traffic get to settle for their second best picks, I don't see a win condition coming up here for Jackpot. Like, unless they somehow don't die, which I think is highly unlikely, because, I mean, look at what's happening right now. We have absolutely disgusting amounts of damage flying out everywhere. I don't see light for them at the end of this tunnel. Or if there is a light, it's just the light of a flurry of cars as they stand straight in oncoming traffic.
And there's another great slice and dice from Coin. Right as the goal gates are opening, this guy's been pretty precise with it for scoring really quickly like that. And oncoming traffic just looking to run away with this game one pretty much, unless Jackpot can kind of make the miracle happen, or oncoming traffic maybe get a little bit start slacking a little bit. We'll see here. Coin has a flip available, taking a lot of damage. Nice dodge on that ability, but is now staggered in the enemy goal box, just trying to stay alive. Meanwhile, Tempo with the core on this bottom side. Alpha Me will find the death touch off the center. That's a power play for Jackpot. Alonzo blinking up, burns the flip to bring down a barrier. Crater Maker comes through, and Color Craze not looking too healthy. There's the flip of their own. Now an open goal, but 2 flips here for oncoming traffic. Coin on the respawn, finds the dash, and is able to bring down a barrier pretty quickly here. A nice save with the death touch from Alpha Me. Still a lot of work to do. Color Craze getting taken off the map. A pass up to Coin. It goes Pop trying to come in time. The Crater Maker sends it at a weird angle, though, and it gets bounced out of the corner. But Alonzo staggered. The core's going to slip past. The second barrier's gone. It's just Alpha Me left on the board. Color Craze respawning. Core flip here from Alpha Me. Gets stalled out. Got some damage onto oncoming traffic, though. Color Craze watching the Thorns in, but Tempo picks up the KO into Alpha Me. The perpetual power play continues. Coin with the slice and dice. Just barely able to bank it around Alonzo off a respawn. And now it's match point for oncoming traffic.
Yeah, Jackpot looking like deer in the headlights here. Spectators to their own demise as oncoming traffic just run away with this game. Both barriers already down. They don't even need to get kills to make it happen. The core flip comes out. And if the point goes on, they'll find KOs. But until then, oncoming traffic might just win off of sheer force of will.
In.
There's the dash!
Can't do anything against that. Or, well, at least Jackpot isn't able to do anything against that. Tempo's been so successful with those boosts. And taking them at fun angles as well from around the center. A quick win there for oncoming traffic. A really good start for them, and they just played it very well. A 12-minute, almost 13-minute game with 11 KOs there. Oncoming traffic making quick work of that game one. And we'll see if they're able to keep it up moving into game two. Game two. Atlas's Lab, Spark of Strength, Aerials start here. Another pretty aggressive comp from oncoming traffic. The IME, the newly resurrected, I don't know if resurrect is the right word, but Aragoli back on top of the world in Zentaro versus now Rasmus and Kai from the side of Jackpot here. And double sparks from the forwards of oncoming traffic. They are looking for the power.
Yeah, Aragoli is looking quite strong. I mean, all of oncoming traffic looking quite strong as they score 0.1, but certainly I'm excited to see Mangoes on this Momentum Boots era, and with Aerial's start, this means a couple things. So this is buffed Momentum Boots and buffed Era, so Era can move very, very fast with the new Momentum Boots and actually get in range in the midfield to utilize this fast Era primary that she's got, as well as give her teammates speed to allow them to score cool goals like that. So this is a very, very volatile comp that oncoming traffic have drafted here, and it's likely to just snowball their way to victory here. It's up to Jackpot to see if they can find a way to break that momentum, and Color Craze, winning a few good strike wars like that, might be able to start the ball rolling.
So far, oncoming traffic, though, paying no minds to speed limits, just tearing down these barriers at record pace right now and just instantly scoring. I mean, that whole set was less than a minute. That might have been a 40-second set right there, all just about, not counting time between points, as Tempo Melon once again going to be the MVP here. with a pick of the lot. Spark of Leadership showing up, but it looks like it'll be Bulk Up going over to this IME, just stacking, or Spark of Leadership. Either one, probably the Spark of Leadership, yeah, just stacking the power. And like you said, this is going to start to snowball out of control pretty quickly if Jackpot can't do something about it.
Especially because Bulk Up falls to Coin. Massive swing awakening for kill comps. You get more damage and you get to deny away survivability from the enemy. Spec training on Color Craze means that there's some KO potential, especially with the Might of Colossus pickup on Alchemy. Some KO potential on Jackpot now, but I mean, it's so hard. You're getting Era Shrunk. If you're getting Era Shrunk and you have Might of the Colossus, you're also losing power on top of size, like additional power. So it's going to be tough. But that being said, Jackpot do manage to slide through, find some barriers, and they might be able to be on the board for the first time this game.
Everyone on Oncoming Traffic was forced on a defense there for a moment, but rotating back relatively quickly though. Alpha Me pushing up with the Whiplash. Color Craze in position. The 2 pellets from the barrage, just enough to beat Mango's strike right before Color Craze got taken off the map right there. A lucky break for Jackpot, you say. They hit the jackpot with that one. But Oncoming Traffic just right back to it on this point, immediately getting a barrier here. They've got 3 flips to work with as well. They're dumping the damage onto Alpha Me. It's not looking too great as there they go. Now onto the power play. 4 flip here from Coin, picks up the second one and opens the goal. Now in position in the top corner. The glitch pop, it's just enough and a little bit of help from Coin. Oncoming Traffic, just tie it right back up.
Tie it right back up. They still have 2 flips to spare. I will say, though, I didn't even mention the most pivotal Awakening pickup that Jackpot got, which was that team player. If they can somehow survive to overtime, which is where team player really starts to shine, that is going to be very useful for them. But it will be a miracle in and of itself just for them to make the points last longer than a minute. As even Alonso on this now goalie is being KO'd. Almost staggered here and with no evade to his name. There he goes.
Coin again. And this Temple Melon flipping it right in. Jackpot seems like there's not a lot they can do to stop this, it feels like. It seems like Oncoming Traffic is just kind of inevitable when you're standing in the road like this. And now Mangoes has a flip available. Pops the speed boost off a kickoff. Alpha Me pressuring this barrier, but winds up with nothing. Let's get the flip. We'll get a second barrier. We'll get the first barrier, though, on the return on that top side. Around the black hole. Tempo Melon going to pop it, though. Bring it back around, but Color Craze pushing up with the barrage. A nice clear from Mangoes. Oh, bit of a self-sabotage there with the Firewall Sentry. And an open goal now for Oncoming Traffic. Color Craze now for me looking to capitalize on this, but Coin in the midfield picks up another KO. And Oncoming Traffic with the power play. Core flip here from Coin. A pass to Tempo Melon off the black hole in the center. Looking for the second barrier. Mango's pushed all the way up to the midfield line as well. No bring it down there. Now the shots on goals should start to begin. Alpha Me. Oh, pushing back up. Looking for some kind of opportunity, but Color Craze just getting melted almost instantly. Mango sends the core back up, and there goes Color Craze. Temple Melon with the core flip here. Sets up the sentry. A pass to Coin. Alonso, though, will be able to hold on to it. Reduce that core speed quite a bit. Passing it back around, but Mango's just up on this midfield line, making it hard to get the core through. Color Craze on respawn, pops the barrage. Alpha Me, though, waiting at the top side, and the forwards of Oncoming Traffic not able to get back in time to assist on the defense. And Jackpot able to tie it up on set point. A little bit of breath of fresh air here.
Yeah, for once it seems there might be some stop signs on the route for Oncoming Traffic. Jackpot seem to have stopped a bit of their roll for the time being. They're staying alive. Not seeing nearly as much oppression or CC from the side of Oncoming Traffic. And instead, it's some impressive offense that they're keeping up. Consistently applying pressure, keeping possession, and even in the face of that turret, Alonso, a very valuable core flip, only lost 1 barrier off of it and didn't have to spend too many abilities to do so. It looks like Jackpot are playing a lot more efficiently, a lot more cautiously, and it's rewarding them for now.
Coin has a flip available here, and Color Craze is quite damaged. There's the flip getting burned, but a nice save from Alonso. On the back of the barrier, though, Tempo able to bring it down and open up the goal, and just like that, it'll go right in with the pressure from the corner. Oncoming Traffic picking up their second set now in this game. That one going to a 0.5. Jackpot does show some life there, but Oncoming Traffic just feels so inevitable right now. Fight or flight on the board, a third spark for Tempo Melon, and it's essentially the spark of focus, making this IME very dangerous indeed, as well as just buffing all their other teammates. Super Surge for the now. Explosive for Coin. Fight or flight will go over to the Rasmus here. Mango's picking up Glass Cannon is even scarier with the Mom Boots. And Color Craze not left with much.
I'm surprised Mangoes didn't want the Monumentalist, but even without the Monumentalist, I have to say, looking at that draft, it looks like it's going to be green lights from here on out. Oncoming Traffic. No need to stop. The NATO coming in. That's a 6-second goal.
6 seconds. Wow. Yeah, I mean, that first set had some pretty quick goals. I'd be surprised if they're able to match it in the third one here, but so far they're making pretty good progress. Jackpot holding on kickoff for this point though, but Color Craze taking a lot of damage in the process. Bit of a bad bounce off the center there from Tempo. We'll see the barrier fall, and that's Coin actually taken off the map. Power play for Jackpot. Alonso though overcommitting just a little bit, will lose a barrier. And Tempo Melon doing a good job though, keeping the core up. Mangoes as well in the defense. Pendulum Swing comes out from Alpha Me though, and that's an open goal on Oncoming Traffic side of the field here. But Coin on respawn picks up a KO onto Color Craze yet again. But now Alpha Me with the core looking for some kind of a one-on-one. You can win the one-on-one with the era, but the problem is you have to get to that point to begin with, and Coin and Tempo are just not letting that happen though. Color Craze looking for a breakaway to happen. Tempo Melon just matching the speed, and Coin picking up another KO. Color Craze just cannot stay alive. Alonso looks for something with that core flip, wasn't able to find much. Mango sends it around. Alpha Me with the death touch, able to defend, but a pass up to Coin. See the shots on the net continue. Tempo to the top side. The Zenol in the goal box looking for the dribble. Slice and dice to try and get it past. Jackpot will hold. Alpha Me not able to get it very far. A nice beam from Mangoes to pass it up the Coin. And Oncoming Traffic already at match point.
Yeah, it's... To say that Jackpot would need to work a miracle to come back from this would be an understatement. I think that at this point their fate is sealed. Staring straight into the headlights. There's not much that you can do from here except embrace the rubber that's about to be on your face. The barriers go down. Lego, I'll let you take this one out.
Color Craze looking for something, making a solid solo offense there, but Coin just quickly KOs them yet again. Tempo with the flip available. Just waiting for this core. Gonna burn it here. Shot to the middle. The glitch pop for fun to send it to the top side, and that's Oncoming Traffic sweeping the series, flying down the highway and leaving nothing in their wake.
All I'm hearing is honk, 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 honk.
Oh yeah.
What a series. Quick 6-0 victory.
Literally 3 multi-ton vehicles barreling down the road at 65 miles an hour. Just kind of steamrolled Jackpot right there. I mean,
Oh my gosh.
as one might expect. But yeah, that was a very quick series and a very, very solid showing from Oncoming Traffic. I think we know what this team's going to be all about, and it's just aggression, aggression, aggression. Playing up, getting KOs, constant shots on net, constant shots on the barrier, pressures on the barrier. Tempo doing a great job in the midfield, doing both damage as well as keeping the core up. Coin, of course, the quickest goal scorer in the West. Coin isn't even a car, Coin is a motorcycle. Just weaving around all the other traffic.
He's lane splitting.
Yeah, he's lane splitting. Nothing Jackpot seems like could do about this, so yeah, great series there. for oncoming traffic here in week 2, and it's gonna be interesting to see if they're gonna be able to keep this up or if someone's gonna come along who's able to match them and potentially slow them down. Maybe give them a speeding ticket or something, but great win from them.
難しい言葉などいらないと気づいたんだ